I had to take time out for myself, go Sullivan, clean my wound out, get myself back godly with God, and start over. And now I know what, not just, some people look at what a man did to them. I had to sit back and realize what I did and what part I played in a relationship. And I had to go and I had to get myself together. And I actually went through therapy too, you guys. So I had to really do some soul searching for me.
So, right. Okay, also in the Bigo streets, the Bigo streets talking or whatever. But the Bigo streets want to know: did you really call Sugar Well Job or somebody else did? Like,
okay, so the situation with that is Cortez. So so basically, somebody had put across my little messy phone and said that Shelly Webb was over there breaking the HIPAA law. I just put it on my show. She went off and she started going mad, crazy and shit like that, provoking me. And yes, I called the job, but I didn't say no name. I just said it. I said, "Is somebody inside your office that's breaking HIPAA rules?" And the lady was like, "Who?" And I was like, "I don't know. Let me call you back." And I hung up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say her name. I still don't even know Shelly Wells' name. You know what I'm saying? I don't know her name. But somebody did reach out to her supervisor and asked me if I can send over all the videos. And right hand to God, I didn't send over no videos. None whatsoever. When I called up there, I could have been talking about Jill, Skill, Paul, the dog, the cat, the bird, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know who I was talking about.
So, question. We want to know. We want to know that we seen you on Vivica A. Fox show with your mother. We seen you. We heard about with the R. Kelly situation. Can you give us a little rundown on there? Why did you get on them shows? And what's going on with R. Kelly to put yourself in the world and the light on that?
Okay, so with the situation with my mom, can't nobody judge me in my mama's situation. Me and my mom, like I said, my mama never raised me. So I wanted to go on the Vivica Fox show. And I wanted to bring it out to the world because that was my truth. I wanted to face my truth. A lot of people can sit over here and act like they just, punking her mom. But guess what? A lot of things that a lot of these people do on this app in front of their mama, with their mama, I wouldn't dare put my tongue against my mama, cuss my mama out. My mama not going to get on the app and watch me act a fool. Now, if she was to download the app and see me, then you know what? That's fine.
Keep it cute, y'all. Keep it cute.
That's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
But I don't hold my mama mistakes over her head. I thank God that my mama realized that she had a drug addiction and she couldn't raise us. Because guess what? Whoever raised us, they raised us. We not on no drugs. My brother worked for the FBI. I got a kidney. I got a stable roof. I went back to work. So with that being said and done, so I'm glad that my mama didn't raise me because she didn't feel that she can do it. So she gave us to a woman that did know how to raise us. So
okay, yeah.
So you're part of a foster home? Was you a drug baby? Or like you was just a part of a foster home?
Okay. Savannah, I was never a drug baby, okay?
I just thought you smoked up your kidney. That's why you had
Savannah, when you do a show like this, you got to be professional, baby.
Savannah,
it's certain things that you just don't say. No, it's not nothing wrong with you asking questions. It's just the amount of reason that you ask it. Yeah.
So Pumpkin, can you tell us how has, and this is not being funny, on a personal note, how has having a kidney change impacted you? Because people make fun of it, and I know that you talk about it and you laugh and everyone jokes and people talk their shit, but give us the real, like, how were you feeling when you were going through that process and when you came out of it?
You know what, Cortez, Savannah, and Robert, when I went through that process of getting a kidney,
thank y'all.
To be honest, I was born with one kidney. And I had a car accident. And what really blew my kidney is because when I had that car accident, I had the car accident on this side of my body, which was where the kidney laid at. It knocked out because I was really skinny, so it kind of took an impact on my body.
Okay, so y'all lay off the mute. Lay off the mute button, y'all. Lay off the mute button. If they ain't calling, if they ain't being real disrespectful. Don't mute them. If they, everybody can agree. I mean, everybody can have disagreements.
Right.
Get their
But you know what?
opinion.
I don't even read the comments, so they can say what they
Yeah.
want.
Right.
So go ahead, Pumpkin.
I just
Go ahead,
asked
Pumpkin.
it to y'all.
Go ahead, Pumpkin. Go ahead.
We
So,
need the comments.
Pay them no mind. Go ahead, Pumpkin. The floor is yours.
So with the situation, when I
Oh,
got
somebody
hit,
reporting the comment.
Girl, go.
so when I got hit by the car and all the morphine that they gave me kind of knocked the kidney out because I was only surviving on one kidney. So I knew that I was having kidney failure because when I was when I was inside the car clinic, they told me, they said your kidney is only working at a 45%. Okay, so I knew that the impact of the car messed up my kidney. So the thing is, I knew what was going wrong with me. So when I got on dialysis, yes, it was rough. It was very rough. But you know what kept me uplifted is getting to know all you guys and coming on the internet and just being a fool and making y'all laugh. I laugh. So I think me being on 17 years worth of dialysis, I think I came out looking damn good, honey, and survived it. Like I'm happy.
So what about the R. Kelly situation?
Yes, and the 8-year, and wait, and also the R. Kelly situation, the Michael Blackson situation, and the 8-year relationship that you were in. Supposedly, the 8-year relationship, the R. Kelly and the Michael Blackson video. Let's talk about.
Okay, so what about the Michael Blackson video that y'all want to talk about?
We want to know R. Kelly first.
R. Kelly, the big old streets are talking. They want to know about R. Kelly too.
R. Kelly first.
Yeah, the big old streets want to know about R. Kelly.
Okay, so like I said, everybody want to judge me off the simple fact of the R. Kelly situation. Like I told y'all, they had for like orphans basketball. What is it? Raise fundraiser. I met R. Kelly then. And like I said, his people gave me his number. I called him. We linked up. It was what it was. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't go. It was.
So what was it? What was it? We don't do was what it was. We were like, let's get into it.
Yeah, get into it.
So paint the picture. Yeah, paint the picture. You met with R. Kelly, and what happened? You meet R. Kelly face to face. Go from there. Go. You have the floor.
Okay, so my question to y'all, didn't we talk? Okay, so what is it that y'all want to know? Because we talked about it.
You have the floor. You have the floor. Tell us. You met R. Kelly face to face. Go from there.
Okay, so I met R. Kelly. Like I said, him and his driver picked me up. We went to the hotel room. I thought that he was going to give me a better life. He gave me some money. I was supposed to meet back up with him, and he never answered the phone. And it is what it is. And I thought,
why did he give you money?
You said, why did he give me money? Because
Did y'all exchange sex for money?
Well, if you want to say that, then yes, Miss Savannah, you can say that. But he wanted me to look nice to come to his concert that night, honey.
Okay.
If you want to say I did it for some sex, honey, okay, we can say that too.
So where did the driver pick you up from?
Down the street from the group home.
So you never had sexual relations with Robert Kelly, is what you're saying, Pumpkin?
No, I did.
Press the back.
Wait. Pause. You did have sexual relations with Robert Kelly.
Yes.
Was it good?
Yes.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay. So what happened with so when the driver came and picked you up, did you look like a child, or did you look like an adult, or did you lie about your age? Did he know your age? Did he know you was coming from a group home?
He met me at the group home.
Oh yeah.
So why would I have to lie about my age? He seen me in the group home. Like,
well, how old were you? 16 or 17?
No, honey. Like I told you, I was in the age bracket of 14, 15. Okay.
So you had fresh pussy.
Yeah.
So did he eat the booty like grocery?
So
he did not.
After
he didn't pee on you, did it?
Wait.
No.
So after he paid you, he didn't answer the phone no more?
He did not.
And what year was this, 1969?
Savannah, the shade is real. Okay, can we go to the next question, Savannah? Because I'm not being funny, Savannah, honey.
Okay, we want to know about Michael Blackson.
Yeah, go to Michael Blackson.
Now, what about Michael Blackson?
I don't know, Robert. What about Michael Blackson?
have Michael. What about Michael Black?
Oh, so
Okay,
Michael.
so
Wait. So I'm gonna ask this, and then I have to take a commercial break myself and come back in 15 minutes because my phone's about to die. You had a video call with Michael Blackson, and you twerked for him on live. We want to know, was there any type of contact after that when you twerked for Michael Blackson in your panties on live? We want to know, what was your relationship with him? Was it just a random, he just videoed you, or was there any type of contact with him after that?
it was just a random twerk. That's it. That's all. He didn't contact me afterwards. He didn't reach out to me. He just seen my name up there, and they was like, add Punkin. And he was like, her name Punkin Pie. He was like, come on Pie. I came up there just to do like a little friendly roast and be silly with him. That's it. But y'all trying to really ease on down the road to my.
No, we want to know the school. We ain't.
Well, I'm trying to give you the school. It's not.
Want to know.
See, Savannah. Okay, you know what?
The big old streets want to know, Punkin.
No.
Pay it, Pumpkin. This is an interview style. We keep going, girl. Keep it going. You're doing great.
I think what y'all trying to get at. I think what y'all trying to get at is when I dated. You talking about Anthony, the actor. That's who y'all talking about.
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, that's who y'all talking about.
You used to date him?
Yes, I did before he got.
So let's get into that. But before we get that, you had sexual relations with R. Kelly. Before you get to Anthony Anderson, was it sexual relations or was it rape? Because in the comments, people were saying
it was not rape.
How old was you then?
Okay.
It was consensual. Now when I met Anthony, I was like 19.
Oh. Okay, let's get into that. How did that happen? Give us the backstory.
Okay, so I was walking down the street, down 79th and Western. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all gonna have a professional show with that Coco right there, honey, because she gonna make me go off. All right, I'm trying to be professional.
Savannah, mute yourself, Savannah. Mute yourself. Go ahead, Pumpkin. Mute yourself, Savannah.
Okay.
She'll take me there. I'm trying to be professional. So how I met Anthony Anderson is one time, me and my friends, we had just came from the show over there on 79th. Well, it was on 69th and Western. And I was walking down the street, and he had just bought like a nice little car, because that's when he started doing stand-up comedy, okay? And he was actually from the West Side. And he was like, because, I was built up nice.
I'll be back in 10 minutes, y'all. Go ahead, Pumpkin. Go ahead.
Okay, so he came and he introduced himself to me, and we all, we just, became real good friends or whatever. Then he used to come and pick me up, and I used to go to his building. He stayed in a nice little Horizon up on the west side of Chicago by the Circle, and I would notice, like, he was working at Handy Annie. He used to be a worker at Handy Annie, and like at night he'd do stand-up comedy, and that's how I really learned how to roast and be myself, because Anthony, even though however he act behind the scenes or whatever, back inside the public, he was really a funny guy. So me and Anthony, we used to have like little mouth roasters with each other and stuff like that, and different things like that. So yeah, so Anthony, I was with him for like a good 2 to 3 years. But when he went to Hollywood, he did come back to get me. But I was so young and dumb in my mind, I didn't know what was going on. And honey, I thought it was all riff-raff and play. But yes, Anthony was a very good man to me. I met when I was one with him, he had a woman manager. I forgot her name. It was a ladies manager. And the lady, they used to, like, whenever Anthony, used to do shows or whatever, we used to go out to eat or whatever. So, yeah, I met Anthony when he first started doing stand-up comedy and different things like that, when he was just doing open mic and different things.
So,
okay. So the big old streets want to know what happened with you and the fight. Okay, come on, Lo. About you and the fight. You and what's her name?
Me and Ivy.
Yeah, what happened that day?
You know what? I'm a keep it G with y'all. Okay. Ivy didn't want to fight, and I really didn't want to fight. I think we was both getting the battery put in our back. Ivy got a lot of stuff that she can lose, and I got a lot of stuff that I can lose. Cause, like, say for instance, if she would have hurt me, she would have went to jail. Or she would have, or I would have hurt her, she would have ended up in the hospital. Or the same way, I would have hurt her, I would have ended up in jail. Or she hurt me, I would have ended up in the hospital. So you know what? I can say for two mature young women, I think anybody that do pull ups, I think is stupid and childish. And yes, me and her both fell in the pity midst of trying to do a storyline pull up and made herself look dumb. You know what I'm saying?
So, question. It sounds like all these celebrities, R. Kelly, Michael Blackson, and Anthony Anderson, you've been on these shows. It feels like, I want to ask the question, when you was young, was you trying to fuck your way up? Or was you, like, what did you do in your young age? Did you prostitute? Did you, was you on dope? Like, you have a drug habit? Yeah. The people want to know.
Okay, so, Savannah. Okay, Savannah. Okay, so, okay.
One more question. You went out to get braces, and they want to know that you have any insecurities to fix your teeth. So now that's it. Okay.
You said anything about fixing my teeth? What you say about my teeth, Savannah?
Did you have any type of insecurities about your teeth? That's why you went to go get braces. Do you feel better?
Of course. Of course I had insecurity about my teeth. And yes, the moment that I felt like I can afford getting my teeth fixed, that's the first thing I wanted to do. It's backwards going to get some titties when your mouth is raggedy. It's backwards going to get an ass when your mouth is raggedy. So I
Okay,
decided,
a lot of people mute. I'll unmute you. I'll check them.
I think that it's better to go get your teeth fixed. Start from the head on down to the body, okay? Now, as far as me being a celebrity whore, honey, when I met Anthony Anderson, he was not a celebrity, baby. Okay? I didn't even think he would make it out of where he was going, but by the strength that he kept striving and doing comedy shows at night, he made it. So no, I didn't think that I was sucking my way to the top, or I just, I'm not a celebrity whore, because at the end of the day, I have natural talent. I do good stand up, I do good roasting, honey. I'm naturally funny. You know what I'm saying?
But I wasn't trying to be funny. I was asking because you said you fuck R. Kelly. Are you dating? Well,
now, Savannah. Now you putting words in my mouth. I never told you that I was sucking on R. Kelly. I said
I didn't say suck. I said you said basically yeah, you could say we had sex. That's what you said.
Yeah, we did.
So I'm saying
it was not rape. It was consensual sex. Okay.
But you was
It
14
doesn't matter. I know what I was getting myself into. He wasn't running around there like a little kid. So I was grown enough to bust it open. I know what the hell I was doing.
So what happened on the court show?
You say what?
What happened on the court show?
You say what happened on what court show?
I don't know. Was you on the court show? They said you was on the court show. Was you on the court show?
I was on a lot of shows. I was on Maury, Bill Cunningham, Trisha Gordon, Maury, who else? I was on a lot of different shows.
So you was on these shows to let the world know what you was going through in life?
Yes.
But so my thing is, you've been on all these shows. Why you have never mentioned Anthony Anderson, R. Kelly, and all these people?
Okay, Savannah, you should already know personally when you was on Jerry Springer busting it wide open, was you thinking about telling people who you sucked and what you do on social media or anything like that? So, honey, why you trying to throw that shade, honey? You already know when you go on to these daytime TV shows, you go up there and you do what you're supposed to do and you get the fuck on. So you answered me this. When you went on Jerry Springer and you was pulling out them chests and doing splits, was you thinking about telling your story?
Okay. All right. Pocket, we thank you for coming in and opening it up to us, because the Bigo Streets wanted to know, and I'm glad you came up here and told us today. So we really appreciate it. It meant a lot to us. It meant a lot to us for you to take time to come.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so
to you
much.
guys. All right. No problem.
All right.
And bitch, I was on more than Jerry Springer, ho.
Okay. We got Lo. Hey, Lo, how you doing? Everybody, we got Madam Lo. A legendary
Hi
girl.
everyone, it's the icon, it's the legend, it's the star, it's the absolute fucking statement. First of all, could y'all season my purse? Because I know this is going to be a tasty ass interview, and I want 3K.
You the only one came on here begging.
Let's not even play like that. It don't matter, bitch. I'm going to buy my motherfucking bag, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, come on through, y'all. Bless the panel, y'all. Okay, Lo. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for coming to the show. It was a pleasure that you took time out of your busy schedule to appear.
This is ghetto. I thought you said this wasn't gonna be ghetto.
Well, I'm
boots over there.
Savannah is just ghetto bougie. She's ghetto bougie. But we appreciate you coming on the show. So we want to know, the Bigo Streets want to know, why did you and Drea fall out? Like, y'all was real cool. We saw y'all at the party in Atlanta at the hotel with each other, and the next time we turned around, y'all was into it.
Well, I never fell out with Miss Drea. Savannah and her had pulled their normal shady stuff that they pull, after they link up with the girls or whatever. I don't know what had happened because I wasn't there, but I never had a formal fallout with Drea. I never took her charge or her money or anything like that. I felt like it had a lot to do with Savannah, but then the girls told me that it was Drea doing.
Okay, I'm finna
I don't know, but I think that it's just late that the girls link up, and then the next thing you know, girl, it's the issue. Like, girl, where did that issue come from? I am being professional. Where did the issue come from? Where did the issue reside? Because we never had an issue, and now she's calling my phone as if as if nothing has never happened. You're not going to get on my platform where I work and slander my name and then think like.
Send a request, Ebony.
Think like we're just gonna go back to being Best Judy. Okay, so Madame, recently, we have heard the
keep it cute in the comments, please.
First, we're gonna get into the story. The people want to know why. What is your interest about studs and trans men?
Oh my gosh.
This is the interview, girl. Don't do all that. It's no shade.
Yeah. There's no shade, though. It's no shade.
You're the only one we asked the question is the problem, bitch. This is no shade.
Girl, you just was getting into it with motherfucking Pumpkin, bitch. Fall back up off me and answer your question, and let's keep it the fuck you.
Ask her the question, because that's not fair. That's what we want to know, bitch. We don't.
Go ahead, Lo. The Bigo Streets want to know, boo.
What's the question? Because she do too much. What's the question? Can you ask?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Savannah. What's the question you wanted to know, Savannah?
Girl, that's not fair because she acting retarded. Girl, we want to know. Girl, we want to know everything. We want to know about the studs. We want to know about her housing.
One question at a time, please.
One question at a time.
We want to know about the dog. We want to know about the STDs and things that Ashley talking about, the mama and all that. That's what we want to know. So break it on down.
Cortez, you can ask the questions.
Okay. No. So what happened with the incident with your Ashley calling your mom and saying your mom said you had a disease or whatever, and saying that she want to talk to you or whatever.
Okay, so I'm gonna go
that true?
You have to start from the beginning to the end of her life.
Okay, let her talk. So
what did you say? Start from what?
The beginning to the end.
Okay, so basically, the day that this all transpired, it was just a regular routine day. I woke up to, pump through the Bigo Streets. And Ashley started throwing her slick shade. So I went live and read her the fuck up out of this. She got upset. She started digging up my background and stuff like that. And then I'm guessing from the background report, she ended up finding my mother's number, if I'm not mistaken. And she called my mom. My mom fell into the things. I'm sure y'all have the video. If y'all want to play the video, y'all can. My mom kind of played into the situation and just basically was saying how disrespectful I was and how I used drugs. My mother never said that I was sick. She never said anything like that. When she was reading the text messages, I was basically trying to get my mother off the phone with her because she did not know she was on live. And then people tried to switch the story and say that my mother said that I was sick and that I was telling her on the phone, on the text messages, don't tell them and like don't talk to Ashley and stuff like that. But I was basically just trying to let my mother know that she was being recorded.
Send another request, Ebony.
So once she ended up realizing what happened, I have showed these text messages before, and this is where my mother texts her phone. For the people that have not seen, this is where my mother texts her phone.
Okay, what does it say?
You gonna read it? Or
read it for us.
I don't appreciate you saying I said Andre has HIV because I don't know his personal life business. I don't appreciate you having me on live making accusations. Get a real life and stop trying to ruin other people's lives. You are pathetic and evil. We'll definitely be praying for you. So what he said about you was true and you wanted to retaliate, you pathetic fool. So basically that's what she texted him after, and Ashley began to blow my mama phone up, and so she sent me screenshots of her continuously calling her. If you see, this is her continuously calling. That's her number right there. She kept calling like 3 or 4 times, multiple times, and my mother has her number blocked at this point. Ashley was trying to basically call her from like a concerned place, and so she felt like I was in danger or something. When I talked to her, because I have spoken to her since, she felt like maybe I was in danger or something like that, or something had happened to me, and that's why she was speaking to her. What was the other?
First of all, I want to say I'm not being catty and all that, girl. With the is it how ask the questions? There's no point of no interview if we're not going to ask the questions of the.
Okay.
She's talking to the comments.
I'm talking to you. I can't comment.
Okay, I don't know who muted. It's so many people getting muted by Bigo.
Can we continue on? Okay, so next. So, Cortez.
Okay, Lo. Okay, we got that. Okay, Lo, about these, is it true that Bigo streets are going around talking, and they're saying that you like to jump on your stud girlfriends? Is that true? Do you like to beat them?
No, I haven't beat any of my stud girl, like the last 2 girlfriends that I've had. Actually, I haven't had any domestic violence. I mean, me and Brittany play fights sometimes or whatever like that, but the last really abusive relationship I had was with Red in 2018. So
why are you into studs?
Because that's what I like.
So that's what you like. So going around the streets, Gucci have millions of times have said something about your unborn child or your baby that's been deceased. How do you feel about that? Is that true that you have a child and is the child deceased?
Yes, that is true. It was a stillbirth. Yes.
Okay. Cortez.
Okay. So how did you and okay, so the Bigo streets want to know what happened with you and QT. GQ, I think QT. GQ, yeah.
Which time?
The last time why he's
hold on, let me go to my Instagram. Basically,
send a request, Ebony.
Basically, he just sent me a text saying that he was not going to come to my broadcast room because of the comments. A lot of people are unable to deal with the comments. I mean, Forehead is another person that they jump on, but I feel like at the end of the day, the comments jump on me, they jump on everybody. The comments, it's like the comments are jaded. They're going to go wherever way they want to go, whenever they want to go that way. So he basically sent me a message saying, yo, I'm done. I'm a super nice guy. I didn't deserve to get banned. Like, your comments are whack as hell. You don't have to worry about me ever coming to your live again, and I mean that shit. And I responded to him basically saying, you can't let the comments run you off my live. They do the same thing to me and everyone else. But basically, that's all that happened. Some people, the girls went to his live when he went live and basically told him that I was saying that I was going to snatch his badge or whatever like that. And I did not say that. But, I feel like GQ's hand is always on the trigger when it comes to me. And he's always looking for a reason to, like, be jaded or to find a reason to come, to separate spaces from me. That's how I personally feel, because I would never let no comments come in between me and a real friendship, because a lot of people, me and GQ had a real friendship outside of this application. And yes, I am, kind of petty on Facebook, and yes, I do let my comments do whatever the fuck they want to do, because that's how I leave my room. That's how I've always led my room. I'm not going to go back to kicking people. When I first got on Bigo, that's the approach that I was doing, kicking people for not gifting. Everybody remembers how I started on this application, and I just feel like I have matured a lot on this application, and I have matured a lot through this application, so I would never go back to just allowing people to just kick people, scandalously, and just run my room and rip my room apart. The comments are here to comment, whether it's rightful, wrong, or whatever, whether I laugh or the next bitch laugh. You have to have strong skin when you on this application, and we all know that. We all have been in situations where we have realized we have strong skin on this application, and I just don't feel like I'm going to be the person to go back. I'm not I'm not taking my platform back to all that kicking and muting and letting people just come. My admins have been very good, are very good working admins, and I want to take a moment to commend each and every one of my admins, because they do a wonderful job. We don't have all that kicking, and we not gonna start. And I feel like GQ just was kicking that was the last thing that happened. He just kept kicking forehead. Forehead came back from like 3 different pages, and it's like, I feel like you're disrespecting me. I feel like you can run me, and you're not going to run me. We're brother and sister. You're not my man. You're not the head nigga of this empire. You see what I'm saying? This is something that I built by myself. Nobody.
Do you think he got a thing for you?
No, I don't feel like it's a thing for me. It's definitely a brother-sister, type of bond. But I just feel like he feels like, because he's in control of my media presence, that he can just run my entire platform. You're not going to run my entire platform.
Okay, admins, could y'all please help me out, admins? Everybody that's muted, could y'all send a request and get in the queue? And could my admins make sure they are muted, please? Thank you.
And I just that's one thing that I don't appreciate, because at first it's like, I don't know if it's, at first he said that, I don't know, I'm not going to speak on his other friendships, but I feel like it was one particular friendship that was in his ear that basically kind of came in between our friendship, and I'm not going to speak on it, but I guess they rekindled, or they whatever the fuck, worked on their relationship, and I feel like, they were discussing me in some type of way, because me and him have never had those type of problems. He's never been so blatantly disrespectful on my platform. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
So question. So, from the last 2 or 3 years, the girls have been talking about you being stable and from room to room prostituted, getting high on beans, talking about Mabel. So, we want to know, the people want to know, do you want to get stable, or you just want to live while you're living? So we can clear this up and start running it in the streets.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I haven't escorted since January 31st of this year. I haven't been on the road since I came back to Atlanta, and I'm not going back on the road. And I feel like at this point in my life, it's been the most stable that I've been in a very long time, because I've been in one place. I haven't been ripping and running. I haven't been everywhere. I'm not going to speak on, the living situations that I live in, but the same situation that was going on here before I left here, I'm not a person that when I leave a place or leave a certain situation, I have to take everything with me. So the same thing things that my name was on, the same bills that I was responsible for before I left here. I have always been responsible for on the road and off the road. And at one point, I was responsible for
You admin, Ms. Lisa, too.
at one point, I was responsible for my portion of bills at two separate places, one being in Sacramento and the other one here. So at the end of the day, I feel like this is one of the most stable moments of my life. Whether or not people agree with my relationship or my whatever situationship with Brittany or however we get down, I don't feel like
Get in
I
the queue,
owe
y'all.
explanation about that. But one thing I will say is I have not had the escort since January 31st, and I'm very proud to be able to say that I haven't had to rip and run the city, run around the country and sell my ass since January 31st. So I feel like I have made great bounds. I feel like I have moved big barriers in my life, because before this year, I did not even know how I was going to change my life. And so, I mean, I have been going through a couple of things with, like, moving or whatever like that. And I mean, I think I'm going to take Brittany with me when I do move to my next place, because she been down for me this long, so why not? But I have been going through a couple of different things, like with the houses and stuff like that. Some denials, some approvals on some things that I didn't really want, or I felt like were too expensive in the end. On and on. It's
When you get unmuted, y'all, get out the queue. When you get unmuted, get out the queue.
It takes time or whatever, to really find your best fit. And so I'm comfortable where I'm at. I feel like I'm stable where I'm at, and I feel like I'm in a good predicament, in a better space than I've ever been before. So for all the girls that was rooting and reading and raving from 2 to 3 years ago, bitch, it's dead now. This shit's over with. I don't have to travel the country no more. I don't have to live out of hotels no more. I don't have to sell my pussy to survive anymore. So yeah, I feel like I'm very much so stable at this point, more stable than I have ever been before.
Well, I feel that you're doing better in your life, and I feel that me personally and a couple of people have been in a situation where we have to stay from room to room.
Thank y'all in the comments. I really appreciate it.
And being homeless and trying to get back on our feet. So we all are blessed to help each other to move on, even though we kiki and we cackle. We all have our days and we all have our downs. And that's that. Cortez, anything else?
Okay, yeah, no. Also, the Bigo Streets want to know. So, how was your relationship with your mom and dad right now at this point?
Well, I mean, the relationship has been consistently the same since I left out the house. The last time I left out the house in 2016. At the end of the day, my parents are high respected people in the Church of God in Christ. I don't know if you know anything about the Church of God in Christ, but that's the grand old Pentecostal holiness, holier than thou church. Hey! Good.
Yeah, everybody, that's Bigo. It's not nobody. It's not the admins that mute y'all. It's Bigo. Bigo is here.
Holier than thou church, so they're stuck in their ways. I have tried to beat that horse several different ways. I have tried many different ways. What I will say is how my mom spoke, in concerning to the name that she used and the gender and stuff like that on the phone with Ashley and on the phone with other people, I don't have to deal with when we personally talk, because we have came to terms with her just calling me her child. You see what I'm saying? I have told her, we finally made it to where she doesn't have to say a particular name or son or daughter. Just call me your child and acknowledge me as your child. So when we personally speak, that's how we speak to each other or whatever like that. Or we just don't name call at all. But her respect for what I have going on has never changed. And do I think it's going to change? No. I think it's beating a dead horse. That's something that I have been able to mature and progress from, because I'm not going to continue to push approval from nobody. What do I need approval from the next human being for when you're on the same ground and walking the same level that I'm walking? I don't need approval from anyone. I don't need acceptance from anyone. What I need is respect. So with her speak, it's very respectful. At this point, it's more respectful than it's ever been. And that's what I'm appreciative for. Now, yes, I am disrespectful, bitch. And yes, y'all know I do motherfucking drugs. So she feels some type of way. She's a holiness woman. I don't really feel no type of way about what she said, because she's already said it to me. But my whole thing is, why just answer the phone with a random stranger and just allow all that to be said with someone you don't even know? You know what I'm saying? From a can of paint. That was
Right.
my issue with that. Other than
Right.
that, I don't have a problem with anything that she said because I know that's her feelings. I know that's how she feels. I know this. I know how she feels because we speak and we communicate. But other than that, my situation with my family. I mean, my
Thank you.
family.
Thank y'all for the gift.
My family outside of my parents respect my name. You know, it's no issue with them. I just chose to remove myself from my family entirely until me and my parents can get on one accord. Because if me and my parents aren't on one accord, how can I expect for anybody else to be on one accord? You see what I'm saying? And then it puts a stripe between things because when your parents are not there with you all the way, but the family is, that make your parents get into it with your family members. You see what I'm saying? So I chose. They want me to come back home. They want me to be back home. They have reached out to me several times and asked for me to return home, but I chose to not do that. I chose this lifestyle, and I'm going to stand in my lifestyle, and I'm going to continue to fight through whatever, however, whenever, as long as I have breath in my body. I may get depressed sometimes. I may get down sometimes. I may get a little bit weary in my well-doing, but I'm going to continue to fight. I'm going to continue to stay on my path until I complete my path, and that's just that on that. And I'm not turning back. And the door will always be open to my parents. You know, other people know, but for my parents, I will never shut the door.
You can always go. Okay.
The doors will always be open to my parents for us to have that full relationship where we're fully in each other's lives. But at this point, I think that we need to keep it copacetic. We need to keep it at a little social distance because they're still not there yet. And so that's just how the situation is. People think that
y'all, hold up, y'all. We're gonna bring the audience up. We're gonna bring people up and let them ask questions.
So
after a while, at the end of the, we got to bring y'all up.
So
Isaac was a no call, no show today. So maybe he'll come back another week.
But yeah.
So wait, I want to ask her some more. I want to ask her like two more questions. So question: the simple fact that
thank you, guys.
As she called your mother, was that because you called CPS on her? Or what was the
I've been.
And wait, one more question. And lately, as you've been a trans woman, you have been feel misgendered by the Butch Queens.
Em, you want to come on?
About that?
Tell what about
you being misgendered?
But like on Big on like with all these people on here.
Yeah, about you know how you was
like with the name and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell how I feel about
and
it.
about you calling the CPS on
thank y'all.
Okay, so I called CPS on Ashley like last year, I believe. We have made it past that. Me and Ashley actually apologized. I don't know if y'all was catching it, but me and Ashley was actually sitting on lives together with each other. Ashley was coming in my room, gifting me and everything like that. So I don't know what happened or what took place that day for her to take it to that level. But, I mean, she did. And after that, I continued to go to the levels that I go. I woke her up on cold case files for the rest of the week. The first time, sometimes I would say I'm calling CPS on Ashley, and I really have not called CPS on her. I would say I have officially called on her one time, and that was last year. And like I said, we already made it past it. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she just felt like that was her way of waking it up. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a hit for a hit, and you never can determine how somebody coming. You know what I'm saying? You never know how I'm going to come. You never know how the next person is going to come. So I feel like at the end of the day, when you do the shit that I do, you have to be prepared for people to do what they're going to do, and so forth and so on. So, I mean, I feel some type, I feel like Ashley did not do anything to me for me to really just feel some type of way with her. Like, yes, I would slap the fuck out of her if I see her one day, but it was my mother who answered that phone and just rambled on that really pissed me off more than anything. Ashley wasn't the one that really pissed me off, no shade, in that situation. But I mean, I don't know, like.
Right. But I know what you're like. So Mama should have just hung up.
Yeah, because you don't answer the phone with no random person and just run and just start running your mouth like that. No, you don't. You don't. It's just no excuse for that. And for you to just have your tongue on the trigger like that, for me, for your own child, that's half the reason why I have to keep you at a distance, and you don't understand it, and you're not wondering why I don't talk to you or why am I not answering the phone, and now you see why. You have to have some type of respect. You can possibly have the least bit of respect for me, because before I transitioned, my mom and them would never let nobody speak on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring some people up in the audience.
My mom and my daddy have ran up on plenty of people. The people from my hometown used to be scared to even tell my parents when I was cutting up in school because of how they used to cut up over me. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like after I transitioned, it's just like every time they get a chance, they just gotta say something. Gotta put an input in. Gotta put something negative, a negative spin or something. And it's just something I don't appreciate, me personally. But Ashley didn't do nothing. The only thing that pissed me off was Ashley is her lying on my mama.
Hold on, right quick. Hold on. I know this bitch ain't. Hold on. I know this bitch ain't told me to shut up.
Got her question.
Hold on. Let me mute this bitch.
Robert and the kid.
Shut up. I'm finna bring him up. Hold on.
And the second question about the Butch Queens and all the misgendering and stuff like that.
You better keep it cute.
I feel like the transphobia on this app has been an all-time high since we first got here. I don't know if people think because y'all calling me my old name that that's going to bother me, but bitch, that's something I done dealt with my whole motherfucking life. It's the key to me. It doesn't really bother me. At the end of the day, my gender marker and my name is changed to the correct name and the correct gender. Bitch, I pushed through Dubai, a place where transgender and LGBT people are not even accepted. So a hoe in the United States that ain't been nowhere, that haven't crossed no BC, that haven't crossed no country, that don't have no stamps on their passport, can't motherfucking move me. It's not what you call me, it's what I motherfucking answer to. But I do feel like, especially with these people being in our circle, Savannah, I do feel like it's very blatantly disrespectful. I do feel like it's blatantly disrespectful, and it puts an ill feeling in my body and in my bones when you're meeting celebrities and stuff, and the first thing they want to do is clock your tea when you know the danger and that when you know that there's trans women that's being killed every motherfucking day. Why can't we read about something else? It's just like the girls always reading about pedophilia and people touching kids and stuff like that. Bitch, find a new read. Bitch, calling a tranny a he and a nigga and all that shit, it's tired. That doesn't mean you're a real reader. That doesn't give you no credibility to me. Bitch,
well, Lo, I have a question for you. So, Lo, can you tell us a little bit? I don't know if you talked about this, but give us the origin of Cold Case Files, because word on the Bigo streets is, that's something that was taken, but you have kind of coined it and made it your own. So as you do say trans...
Nobody's ever did Cold Case Files.
So as you say, transphobia and all these things are absolutely horrible. Can you give us a little bit of the tea about, how you feel like what you do is different from the transphobia and the drama and things of that nature? Because a lot of people on the Bigo Street say you are a hypocrite in what you say, and they say that you kind of do the same thing in your own shape and form with the drama and the mess and pulling up files and paying for information to get information. So tell us a little bit about that, Lo.
I haven't had to pay for anything. I can show y'all my emails as well. I have Cold Case Files basically stemmed from the Ashley 6-day biopic. That's how it started. I felt like I didn't want to do the clapback. Enough people was doing clapback, Pumpkin, and all of them. It wasn't really working out for me, so I wanted to find something for my own personal satisfaction, for my own personal gratification that I felt like I was responsible for. And so it first started with Ashley, and then it went from there or whatever like that. It's been my thing from day one. Nobody has ever did that. Nobody can ever say they coined that. Nobody can ever say they replicated that. Nobody can ever say they can do what I do when it comes to that. I have my own little investigators. I have, given her a gift card, a Visa gift card for like $25. Just for all the work that she does, because I know that it does cost for her to do what she does. But I also feel like she may be like in some type of predicament or position to pull up these for free. Go ahead.
Somebody said GQ said that you stole it, and he had the flyer to prove it.
I stole it from who? Who would I have stolen it from?
I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a storyline or what's going on, but what I will say is I didn't steal that from anybody. I came up with that on my own. GQ show, the only show that I know of GQ is Fashion Police or whatever like that.
You said it was his show, Lo.
No, GQ did no. Like I'm not even gonna play.
Okay, so low.
I've never seen GQ.
So you're saying that with GQ? Okay, that's close.
Where have y'all seen GQ? Can anybody up here on the camera say y'all seen GQ do a cold case file?
No, I have not. I don't watch GQ. No shame.
But yeah, you right. You are right. You are right, Ebony.
Better stop using my picture, cuz.
You are right, Ebony. I started the phone call. I was the first one that started the phone call.
Okay, so low.
Who started phone calls? I always gave Trinity B recognition for that because of the place she took it to.
Okay, so low. I have a question. Low, I have a question for you. Can you get into tell us the dynamic of how it was to have Gucci in your family, and then why you invited him, how it was in the family, and why you didn't keep him in the family? Start from beginning to end and tell us a little bit about that, because that dynamic was short and sweet, but we don't really know the tea about that. So go ahead.
Okay, so basically, GQ and Gucci, I feel like the family was like really dead. Like I feel like I was really carrying the
300K.
I feel like I was really drama-wise and like T.Y. Like everybody knows the Rose Parlor has been very drama-free. Very much so not one of the families with a lot of drama in it. Okay, so I feel like I wanted to wake it up. So GQ and Gucci have always had this little situation between each other, and they're always comparing their numbers. So on the family chart, you can actually tell. It actually puts you in numerical order, like on the family gift receiving. So I told Gucci, come to the family, wake it the fuck up. I had no idea. I even told GQ that I was going to bring Gucci, no shade, and GQ told me that he was going to pay it entirely. He said he didn't give a fuck long as he didn't come start no bullshit in the family. And I will honestly say, Gucci was not the one that started the bullshit in the family. GQ went to Trina B's live and started a whole bunch of shit in the family before Gucci could even be messy. And that was one of the hurtful things that really hurt me about GQ, is because GQ has always pushed no mess, no drama, no, let's be professional, let's be a high bar family or whatever like that. And for you to go to Trina B and start all this shit with the family, that was the first bit of drama that we have ever had in my family. And for him to be the one to do it is what really hurt me. And that was over. Me and GQ had our own personal, for the comment that just sent that across, me and GQ had our own personal brother-sistermanship going on.
Lo, you don't have to respond to any comments until we have the comment portion there. So go ahead and finish your story, boo.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And I feel like me and GQ have our own personal brother and sistermanship that is on whatever stance is on, or on whatever situation is on at this point. And me and Gucci had our own. When I added him to the family, GQ did what he did, and he hit it out the family. We were able to, reconcile, and he came back. Gucci, I just feel like Gucci is not family material. You see what I'm saying? Like, right. Gucci does not know how to be an Indian and not a chief. You see what I'm saying? Like, Gucci is one of them type of people that need his own. And I was just telling Q1 the same thing. Like, he has no respect for his founders or anyone in that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Gucci is one of those people that just don't give a fuck about nobody. Like, I be trying to channel Gucci and say, like, Gucci, okay, I'm tired of the nigga shit. I'm tired of this a nigga, this a boy. Like, I'm tired of that coming from you. And I want to piggyback off what you said about me being hypocritical. Okay, I can understand how people say that they're upset because of cold case files and, you waking up all this tea on people. Okay, y'all can pull up my backgrounds. That's fine. We all putting up backgrounds. This ain't nothing that haven't been done before. Just never done in the places in the way that I have done it. It's never been done the way I've done it, but it's always been done. But I just feel like if you consider yourself my brother, it's hard for me to call you a brother. It's hard for me to call you a sister when you're constantly misgendering me.
Okay, can we move on from GQ? She ain't very important. Her story is boring. You can't make the story about GQ, please.
We already said GQ. I'm talking about Gucci.
She's talking about Gucci now.
Oh, girl.
So
Gucci.
I have a question. I have a question for you. Is this it? No, sorry.
I'm
I have a
just
question.
saying you can make the answers very short, bitch. You can't
I have a question for you, Lo.
use literal so much as
Savannah, let's try to be a little bit nicer to the, just try to be a little nicer to the guest.
Okay, I have a question for you, Lo. I have a sincere question. You call Savannah Maria Garcia your older sister. We've seen that a few times. And at the same time, you now have a different opinion of Savannah Maria Garcia. Has that changed in the time period you've been on Beagle? Because at the beginning you used to call her that, but seeing possibly the coke and the ups and downs and things that she goes through, do you still feel like she's an inspiration to you to be your big sister?
She on drugs, Robert.
Okay, no. So that's fine. But we want to know, even if she's on drugs, we're gonna let her answer that. Do you still feel like she's that inspirational figure to you, even though you're doing your own drugs, or has that changed? Go ahead.
Okay, wait. Can you ask the question one more time? It was a long.
So in the past you had been known for saying. So in the past you had been known for saying that Savannah Maria Garcia was your big sister. You said that she's your big sister, she's your idol, you look up to her. So has that changed over the few months, because you haven't said that recently at all? You've talked about Savannah's coke addiction, you talked about plenty of things with Savannah Maria Garcia. So has that changed in the past few months, because you have not stated that she's your big sister anymore? A few months ago you were saying that you look up to her, she's your big sister, you talk to her, she's some type of inspiration to you. Has that changed, or is that still the same? How do you feel about that, regardless of the own drugs you're doing?
Okay, so I feel like Savannah is definitely an inspirational person when it comes to the social media shit, no shade. And I have said plenty of times before, she
Keep it cute, y'all, in the comments.
But I mean, like I say, me and Savannah have a tricky, roller coaster as a relationship, and that's all I can really say. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's motherfucking everywhere, bitch. It just comes with the territory.
Okay. Well, Lo, I really appreciate you, boo. It meant a lot for you to take, take time out to come and. It really do.
You welcome, baby. You welcome.
And we appreciate
am I saying up for the people to come up and?
If you want to.
Yeah, but we're gonna go first with Ed.
Hey, tell them.
Okay. Can we take some comment questions for Lo, please? Comment questions.
It's time. Okay, are we gonna open the panel to give the comment girls a box? Or what?
Yeah, we're gonna have all of them come out of
Okay, y'all want me to make okay, I'm gonna make another panel. Hold on.
Six, Cortez,
Okay.
six.
Hold on.
So we can bring people up. A six
Okay,
one.
hold on.
Look at your eyes.
Do you want to bake?
You gonna get worried about that?
Can he stop away?
I thought she fucked on the phone.
Okay, let me.
with Eb and Pumpkin.
Okay. Let me bring some people up in the audience.
Yes, I got in there. That's okay. Because I got some questions and some things.
Okay. Hold on.
It's gonna be real cute, real positive, on a real positive tip. It's just,
All right, you welcome. Everybody's welcome, honey. Everybody.
That part, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's for everybody.
Okay, so starting with Moesha, what questions do you have?
My grandkids.
Okay.
My grandkids eat them. I don't like them. I used to.
Foxy.
Foxy Ally, do you know you in the box? What you trying to get in the box, boo?
I'm a smooth.
Excuse me, question. Cortez. Wait. Hold on, Moesha. I think you're doing it wrong, Cortez. I think you should have I think you should drop love, and I think you should drop them. Wait, who got that?
Hold on, somebody background. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Who loud ass background is there, y'all? Who is that?
Because that's about to run my motherfucking nerves up.
Oh my Jesus. Damn. Are y'all at a party? A house party?
Cortez, Cortez, we gotta mute everybody, and then besides me and Savannah, and then Lo. Yeah.
Wait, let me say something.
My goodness.
I want to hear what Savannah got to say.
Shit. Okay, what Ebony at? Come through, Ebony. Come up, Ebony. Okay, there she go. And y'all, please don't get up here with that loud ass background, people. Damn. Okay, let me unmute. Okay, hold on. Shit. Okay. Let me unmute. Okay, there we go, Robert. Okay. Ebony. And Savannah. Hold on.
No, I was just saying that you, if they're gonna ask questions, we should have whichever contenders up here. That's who they only ask the questions to. The contenders. So if Ebony and Lo up here, we only gonna talk about Ebony and Lo, and then when Pumpkin turn is, we gonna ask questions about Pumpkin.
Okay, we got one person up here now. Hold on.
Okay.
Her name is Moesha. Hey, Moesha, how you doing? Welcome, Moesha.
How are all of y'all doing?
We're good.
But I really don't have no. You know what? I'm gonna be honest, because I'm not gonna waste y'all time with them. But I really didn't have no question to ask. It was like, because I tuned in for one, like in the middle of y'all topics, so I really don't know exactly where y'all started off at. But I had more like I was just tuning in, so basically like just kind of speak on some things like that. Not even speak on, but more like uplift some things that I was hearing, like in with whatever the topic was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I can care less. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? People be like, okay, we're gonna ask questions, or we're gonna do this. Like they really like genuine, like care about what the fuck you ask.
No shade, girl, but we have people in the queue. You got to get to the question. We got to go.
That's good, dog.
No, I'm not being shady, but just let's go.
No,
we got you.
That's part.
Okay, let me put you in the big box. Yeah, we're trying to let everybody come up, boo. We're trying to let everybody come up. No shade. Did she go? Did she drop? Oh, she dropped. Okay.
Yeah, this is a 2-minute remark, baby. Not all that other extra stuff.
Not even 2 minutes. Get up and we put you in the big box, ask your question, and then we will go. We have Pumpkin here. We have Pumpkin, Ebby, and Madame Lo, who have all been professionals. So if y'all have anything, now's the time to ask them to get to it. This is. If y'all want to know, let's go.
Hold on. Hello, Mickey Way. Are you there? Hold on. Let me unmute. Hey, how you doing, Mickey?
Everybody, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to commend Lo because I've watched her almost 2 years coming on Facebook, and she really has, come along very mature now, and I just want to commend her for that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Love you, baby.
I love you too, boo. And to both Lo and Eb, I just wanted to ask, like, the constant arguing with the same people every day and stuff like that, does it ever get, tiring, or will it ever stop, or, like what's next after y'all get through beefing, or is it just gonna be continuous? If somebody come for you, you just gonna come back for them? It's what I'm asking, like.
Right, it ain't gonna never, like, to me, it ain't gonna never stop. If somebody come for you, you come for them. But you gotta look at that. Like for me, it ain't just about mess. Okay, I do cooking shows and everything. So I'm just saying, like, if a person getting tired of watching it, don't watch it. Turn it off.
Okay,
But
well,
I do other stuff besides
and I want all of y'all to know that all of y'all are doing a great job doing what y'all do. Just keep doing what y'all do.
Oh, thank you, boo.
And making y'all money. And that's all. Good night.
Thank you. All right, boo. Okay, next person. Let me see. Next person.